Hello, dear viewers. Hello, hello. Thanks so much for joining me today. There are so many things to read on. I have this big long list, but I just thought I'd start and try to get a few done. See what happens. All right. For one thing, apparently Trump has been, and I haven't seen it. I've been on a live stream, so I haven't seen the interview with George Stephanopoulos, but I am interested in seeing it. And maybe show me the follow-up from that, huh? Let's start there, Spirit. Show me the follow-up from that interview because he's in true form, apparently. So we have the Three of Coins. We have, the King of Swords, and we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, he's making his team, he's making the Republicans worry because of the stuff he says. Now they have new things to worry about being investigated. Yeah, Three of Coins. My goodness, he might even be consulting with his attorneys about, yeah, he screws up. He screws up. He says some things he shouldn't say. There's a lot of talk about will this figure against him in ongoing investigations. Yeah. But, I think that it'll be yet another interview that was just too terrible. Yeah, that I got too when I just did the live stream. The Two of Swords. The perception of this interview will depend upon what you already think about him, right? And the people who are watching Fox News and mostly only Fox News will think it went just fine. So it'll be another one of those. But he may have given information that will be used against him later in an investigation. So that's interesting. All right. And I haven't watched it. I'm sure it's over by now. But in any case, Elaine Chao, I want to know about her too. So she is Mitch McConnell's wife. She is the Secretary of Department of Transportation, right? All kinds of troubles with corruption, you guys. I mean, for one thing, Senate Mitch McConnell presided over her confirmation hearing. I don't know how that's okay. And for another, she's heavily invested in Vulcan Products, this company that provides asphalt and all kinds of products for road construction. And so she says something positive about infrastructure bill coming through or plans, and her stocks go up. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. She was supposed to divest herself of them. She said she would a year ago, and she still hasn't. So there's that too. There are all kinds of troubles. There's yet another scandal regarding this. And I believe I've forgotten which. But, there's corruption here, right? And what happens to her? What happens to her as a result of that? Let's see. Oh, well, I'm picking four, so I'm picking four. Okay, we have secrets. We have Eight of Swords. We have Ace of Swords and the Page of Coins. Okay, so I think there are definitely secrets with that Moon card. People keep talking about this stuff. It doesn't die down. And all of the areas in which she's had conflicts of interest and could be accused of. Oh, the other one, the liaison. So there's apparently a special liaison to help Kentucky infrastructure grants get through on a fast track. So Mitch McConnell's state and apparently other states don't have a special person designated to serve as a liaison for those grant approvals. So there's the other one. But there will be more. We have Eight of Wands. So people are not going to let this alone. But there is still much. Okay, so the Sword of Truth, the Ace of Swords, that suggests to me that there's still truths coming out about this that we do not know yet. They're back there yet. That and the Eight of Swords makes me think they're going to think more things. It's going to be, more things are coming out. But we have this Page of Coins. My first impression was that she still may find an opportunity to reestablish a sense of security for herself. Maybe she'll switch jobs or something like that. That can be a new job too. But another meaning of that card can be, we're going to be looking at who she's taken money from, where she's looked for financial opportunity through her position. And that's the subject. In this, I do not see an outcome. In this, I see truths coming out. I see things moving forward. I see more truths that yet have not come out. So I don't see an outcome in this. Is there an outcome we can know about for her? No, there isn't. Okay, Seven of Cups. There's a lot of illusion. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of uh, arguments given forth to muddy the waters and make it seem like, oh, no, this really isn't corrupt because this and this. I almost see pundits like on Fox News doing their level best to argue their point and make it seem like their point is equally as valid as, yeah. So maybe points made by Democratic pundits. Yeah. So I don't know if it'll ever become completely clear, hmm, but we are going to hear a lot more about it. And these conversations, I do have to share. I just shared this with my patrons too, and I do have to keep bringing this. That what I hear from Spirit is we are supposed to rejoice when a new kind of corruption comes out, because that's awesome. Some of these things have been going on for a long time and never come out. So when the spotlight is shown on conflicts of interest. We've had people in Congress, people in government keep stock in certain things they shouldn't keep stock in and know the secrets of what's going to happen to those stocks like the day before. We've had that stuff happen, you know, so it's good that the spotlight is being shown on it because there's enough interest that journalists are really digging and it's being aired. There's enough interest among the populace, many of whom are on pins and needles a lot just because of Trump and the crazy stuff he says. So we're paying attention, and that leaves a market for the truth. That leaves a platform for the truth. So what I keep hearing is every time that happens, I know you want to freak out. I do. I want to say, what has it come to? Oh my gosh, what's happening to our government? But really, this is a rejoicing time because these are things that are coming out that people will not forget. I mean, there are going to be books and textbooks written about this administration, and things will be investigated long after, and there will be laws written to prevent these kinds of things happening in the future. So, if we can remember it that way, yay, more corruption is exposed. Okay. But what's hard about that is as long as Trump is in charge and the Republicans have the Senate, it feels like not a lot can be done. I mean, the House writes bill after bill after bill. They sound great. They read wonderfully. But they die. But what I hear about that too is, but that work is done. It's saved. So we can't lose heart. Okay. So Elaine, we don't know about her fate, but we do know she's coming in for some tough times. What about Mitch? Does he get some negative press about all of this? So we have, well, he sure tries to manipulate, and he sure tries to, yeah, argue that, well, this is the way things are done, and you want a winner in office, don't you, Kentucky? He sure tries to put his best foot forward. But he may lose a preference. You know what I mean? These are the voters choosing between Democrat and Republican. It may be enough to shift them. It really, really may. And then we have the emperor in the middle of it, and that's the rule of law. He can manipulate all he wants with this Knight of Cups, but if laws are broken, laws are broken. Does he get into trouble eventually? I feel like a lot of this stuff's going to be talked about for the next 2 years. He's going to have to consult with attorneys. We have the Three of Coins. Probably. But I don't know what the final outcome is for him either. But where he's gotten money from, where he's received money from, who he's working on behalf of, that stuff is going to be looked at. I do feel like a lot of disgrace falls on him. I do. I feel like a lot of disgrace falls on him. All right. So there we go. We've got that. Should we look in on Biden? How is he doing? What's going on with that? We have Biden as the front runner now. However, debates haven't happened yet. Right. And so Any weaknesses he has as a candidate may be shown in those, or strengths may be shown. So let's ask. Show me Biden's cards for the nomination. Let's ask. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. It looks, he kind of keeps this for a while. He's the front runner. All things are calm. He's seen as a source of stability with the King of Coins, and maybe big business kind of likes him too. He's sort of establishment. He is. So there's that too. And then we have the Temperance Angel. So very gradually, he's going to keep his cool with that Queen of Cups and the Temperance Angel. He's going to be temperate. People are going to like that, going to make him feel secure. So he has a good run for a while here, at least. What about chances of another candidate pulling into the lead? Let's see. I don't know this. I'm seeing the backs and just picking what looks good. We have the Emperor. We have the Nine of Coins. We do have a new beginning here. We have a challenger. So the Wheel of Fortune card is there. Because it is that time of truth coming up. And I don't know, just the fact that Biden has been part of the establishment, and people aren't happy with the establishment because of the wage stagnation and the middle class shrinking over the last 30 years. People aren't happy with the establishment Dems and establishment Republicans. So, but yet he's sitting pretty, because yet he also has a good rate. He's likable. People, they can't see him messing up. They can see him bringing in more stabilization. This new energy coming into the Democratic Party, male, but older, not young. Possible there could be a challenger. There could be. Who am I describing right now? Am I describing Bernie? Because he's a king, he's not a knight. Well, let's ask. I just like to look at their cards. I feel like things have not been decided yet. You guys, I keep getting that. But I like to look at their cards and seeing, what things are looking like right now. Okay, so let's look at Bernie's cards right now. And I know Liz is doing real well. Okay, so we have the government, we have the Chariot, and we have, so the caucuses. He will be a contender in the caucuses. That's why we get the Hierophant, I think. We got the 10 of Cups. But then there's the establishment, right? Which he's really not a part of. So then we have the Chariot. It might be between them. Interesting. What about Liz? How's she looking? I just feel vice president for her. I just feel vice president, and like she would be the president eventually. I like her a lot. Let's see Liz. Look at her. Whew. The Queen of Swords. Female voters like her real well, and they like that she's speaking up and she's smart. Her slogan is "I've got a plan." So her approval points are raising, and we have it's not quite enough with the 7 of Coins. It's the harvest is rich. It's not quite enough. We have the Knight of Swords. She will never stop fighting. She will never stop speaking. She's going to win this sucker one way or another. Even if she doesn't win the candidacy, she's going to keep going. That Knight of Swords has been a pretty powerful card, I feel like, in readings. Tell me some more about that. Yeah, see, could she be a vice president at the end of this? And a vice president who might be likely to become a president at some point? I don't know. It feels like this is not the last of, if she doesn't get the candidacy, this is certainly not the last we've heard of Liz Warren. She is a fighter and she doesn't stop fighting. So, yeah, she's so interesting. She gets kind of riled up when she speaks, and it's a lot of energy. And I'm fine with it. But I could see where some people, would be like, oh, that's too much, she's pretty intense. But yeah, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing, I think. So anyway, I wanted to look at that. And let us look at, we have testimonies happening, don't we? Don Jr. apparently is testifying behind closed doors for a Senate committee, right? So how does that go? Let's see. Let us see. Okay. Yes, yes, isn't that funny? I did some of these same questions for a Patreon live stream recently. So, I mean, this tonight. So there we go. We have the Two of Cups again. So the fact that the Republicans in the Senate, they support their Republican president and they support his son is a protective factor. But we learned some things, some difficult things. I think it is going to come out that he perjured himself, but what to be done about that? Do they need some sort of vote to move forward on doing something about that? You know what I mean? I feel like there's a stagnation in action for that. Um, but balancing, and maybe something that is taken up more seriously after. See, he can't be impeached. He doesn't have a governmental position. It may be something that's taken up more seriously as a criminal matter after there are more Democrats in the Senate. It may be. Or things become more balanced, or at least there are more Republicans who are willing to say enough is enough. So interesting. But I do really feel like I got the justice card when I asked that question during the live stream. Like, yeah, he did something wrong. He probably did perjure himself, you know? It just feels like there's a stagnant time for action upon that. But, you know, bureaucracy, wheels of justice, all that, moving slowly. All right. So what else? Mueller looks like he will be testifying sometime. Nadler was just on, and he said he probably thought maybe before the end of June. Um, so what does that bring? Does that bring anything new? Apparently, it will probably be private. So that's a bummer. Let's see. Oh, we got to do Hope Hicks too. Okay. So what do we have? Well, yeah, he's not afraid to say it. Mueller is not afraid to say it, to cut away the illusion like he did. That's why he came out and he corrected the public impression after Barr mucked it up so badly and made it seem like, you know, Mueller had suggested there wasn't enough information to prosecute obstruction of justice, and quite to the contrary. Mueller basically made it very clear there was plenty enough instances and evidence to prosecute that, but he couldn't be prosecuted because he was president. That was the deal with the DOJ rules, and that's the only thing that saved him from being prosecuted. So he's not afraid. He will say it again. He will say it again. He will cut away even more illusion, more confusion if he can. Okay. I don't feel like he's going to be very verbose, though. I don't feel like he's going to add a lot. But again, it's something is really added when even he can say one line that makes it crystal clear what he meant in his report, you know, and I feel like there'll be at least one or another one of those, you know, that we will learn about. So pregnant with the possibility, there really is a possibility. So really, this is worthwhile doing, even though he thinks it's not. It is worthwhile doing because there could be more information that comes out. You know, his own goals and interests for seeing the rule of law upheld could be furthered. He doesn't realize that. He hates this stuff. But he also has divine protection and strength. He will be strong in what he says too. He'll be strong. He won't mince words. So I think it will add something. It will add something. Okay. What about Hope Hicks, who is now, she's not even going there with, you know, flirting with contempt charges. She's going she's sharing documents. She's going to testify behind closed doors for the House Judiciary Committee, I believe. Anyway, for the House. So I've always felt there's something very significant in her testimony. What does that look like? Like very significant. And I've always felt like she is not as loyal to Trump as he thinks she is. That's why she got out. Tower, hope, we should be hopeful. Sitting pretty. She's got nothing to lose. He doesn't have so much on her. Her fortunes aren't tied so much to his. So that turns out to be a good thing. And maybe this sitting pretty, she is a very beautiful woman. And, you know, that does make an impression. I don't know. Maybe it makes her a more sympathetic character to people watching media, but there is a tower. There is a tower. What's that? Do we know anything more about that? That's about overseas communications and trade. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands. Yeah, that's about overseas communication. Isn't that interesting? So could she know something more about Russia that we didn't see in the Mueller report? Could something new come? Three of Coins. Possibly. Possibly a new lead, an investigation. But it's not going to make a huge splash. It's not like, oh my gosh, it's more like, oh, committee members are going, oh, maybe we ought to look into this. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, Hope Hicks. Yep, I don't feel like she has the loyalty to Trump that he thinks she does. Is that correct? She's wanted to take a low profile for her own sake. Right, she's been quite the informant, actually, more so than he thinks. And we have the Seven of Coins. She's dissatisfied with him. She's dissatisfied with him. And she feels like he can't keep her safe. So she better just follow the law. That's why she's not flirting with contempt. And she actually, at heart, I think is more of a Democrat. So there we go, Democratic leadership, that King of Wands. She feels more sympathetic to that. So interesting, very, very interesting. I think that's all I can ask right now. There's more. There is more. But this is long. Okay. Well, I thank you all so much and for caring. And remember, when new corruption comes out, we celebrate. We say, oh my God, but then we celebrate. Okay. All right. Things are coming out. That's the main thing. And people are paying attention this time. All right. Well, I thank you all so much. Bye bye.